Liberal ideology is just lunatic reality denialism. The first example is patriarchy. This belief requires you to ignore reality and believe, like a religion. It's supported by faulty sociological studies which are biased and done by liberal proponents of the belief. It's the same as asking slave owners to prove slavery is good. They are biased and will report on what their beliefs are and what benefits their agenda. The fundamental idea of this religious belief is that women are the oppressed class and men the oppressor. Women in America have always benefited from additional protections as compared to men. Like, you can't hit them as compared to men, where I guess it's okay. There are other such things, like women are expected to be given money, i.e., provided for by men. This whole situation of men not being able to hit women and being required to give them money is not a pro-male thing. If it was a pro-male society, as the libs say, then why was the standard never that women should cater to men? Instead, it's the vice versa. It's the reverse. Men are expected to coddle and respect women. Of course, reverse is not expected because despite liberals thinking this is a male-centric society, it's really more female-centric. Some defenses you might hear from believers of the liberal cult are domestic violence or poverty. It's just a cope to defend their religion. Men are also the victims of domestic violence and poverty. It's not something that could be used as a haha screw you fascist Nazi man, when it's only proof that both sexes are having problems. But of course, the ideologues on the left will not care about the details, only promotion of their cult or religion. This whole men oppressors thing is a load of bullshit. If it's a male-centric society, then why are situations objectively worse for the man? Suicide rates are higher, meaning more depression or mental illness, which of course is not logical if the system is ran by males as a whole. Homelessness being higher with males also makes no sense if they oppress women. I guess a dude with no house just by existing in a box on a street is harming a female or a woman. Incels are also proof. Some men can't find any partner. And that might sound like not a big deal, but humans are sexually reproductive social species. It's inherently a natural desire to want to mate. Not only for reproduction, but for social reasons, like having somebody to support you emotionally. Example 2, this whole idea of the rebellion against the bourgeoisie. This always was so comical. The leftist commentators exist in a leftist society with the government and the rest of the establishment agreeing with them. Ergo CNN. They see themselves as the rebels supported by the status quo. It's sad they see themselves as Robin Hood. No, they are Robin Hood if Robin Hood was a crazy zealot, and if he has a support of the elite rich class. Example 3 of this whole video will be that black people are the oppressed class and whites the oppressor. The justifications are biased and ignore facts, much like all liberal beliefs. The cops attacking black people in cases of police brutality are in no way proof of anything, as the same is also true for white people. Representation does not have enough black people. It's a conclusion had by the lack of media knowledge. There are many characters that are black in media, such as Spawn/Al Simmons, Cyborg/Victor, Yoichi Shihoen, Dewey Kage, Axel Brody/Austin O'Brien, and the Overlord Dark Elf twins. Not going to name 1,000 characters here, but it's the point that it's not based on anything logical. It's just a combination of lack of media knowledge and belief. Nothing logical, as was the case for every other point held by the liberal establishment status quo. And there's this generational suffering thing. Many groups have had problems in history. Some of my ancestors were Native Americans, who, as you hopefully know, were killed and had their land invaded by conquerors. There's also Jews who had the Holocaust, where a number of them were killed by gas chambers and had their corpses burned in ovens. Point of this being, nothing about generational trauma, even if true, solely applies to black people, in which debunks the whole point because it means that black people specifically are not an oppressed class. There is the point that this country is still a racist country. It is ran by left-wing egalitarians with a equally left-wing media, all of which supported Black Lives Matter and didn't stop literal riots just because of how much they loved black people. This idea of American society being racist is liberal hogwash, ignoring reality and any fact to present itself.